order at 6:33. And let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody getting settled. Okay. All right. I'd like to turn it over to you, Ms. Meyer.
Yes, President McIntyre,
I'm here.
Vice President Campbell-Voitel.
I'm here.
Treasurer Stewart.
Here.
I'm here. Secretary Meyer. Trustee Frazier.
Here.
Trustee Mabry.
Present.
Trustee Riggenmauer.
Here.
Y'all are all here.
Okay, great. Welcome, everybody. We are also joined tonight by our Superintendent, Dr. R.J. Weber, as well as our amazing central office leadership team, and some wonderful people in the audience as well tonight. Many building leaders and retirees, and a really great evening of a celebration. Next, we can move to our adoption of our agenda.
All right. I would like to bring motion 114 that the agenda be adopted as presented.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion properly presented by Dr. Campbell-Voitel, supported by Secretary Meyer. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Motion carries. Next, we're moving on to our consent resolution items. I'll turn it over to you, Dr. Campbell-Voitel.
All right. I'm bringing motion 115 that the board accept the consent items for approval as follows. Excuse me. 5A, minutes of the May 27, 2025 Board of Ed meeting. 5B, overnight and out-of-state field trip requests. 1, Northville JV Pom-Pom Summer Camp in Alma, Michigan from June 18th through the 22nd, 2025. 2, NHS Varsity Pom-Pom Camp in Alma, Michigan from June 18th through 22, 2025. 3, Hillside 6th Grade Environmental Science Camp in Fenton, Michigan, this coming October 22nd through 24, 2025. And finally, the 4th trip is the NHS Boys Varsity Volleyball State Semifinals in Hudsonville, Michigan on June 6th through the 7th, 2025. 5C, 2024-25 Auditor Recommendation of Plant Moran. 5D, anonymous donation to the Northville Public Schools in the amount of $75,000. Very generous donation. 5E, bill warrants totaling $5,056,215.19. And that's it.
Support.
All right, thank you. Motion properly presented by Dr. Campbell-Voitel, supported by Mr. Frazier. Wanted to just note just the generous donation from to Hillside and then also the high school. Just really incredible. No real strings attached to that. Very anonymous donation, and I just think that is, just incredibly generous. And as a community, so grateful for that.
It's just one more way that community has the opportunity to make a real difference in this district, and the thinking, and we don't know any of the details, but the thinking that went into directing those funds, we take as really a sign of respect and confidence that we'll use them in a way that helps kids. And so I echo what you said. It's beautiful.
Great. And then the Plant Moran recommendation, that's our typical auditor contract that we've had for years. Anything else anybody wanted to comment on? Okay. And then I guess, the other parts, just for the public to know, these are items that we've seen under separate cover. We've discussed them in previous meetings, and we'll go ahead and move forward with a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Next, we can move on to our communications.
Yes, we've received communications at mpsboe@northvilleschools.org, and we have also received the Northville Youth Network program for May 2025. And I just wanted to take a second to congratulate Amy Prevost, and this is on a little bit of a mouthful, on her nomination from the National Alliance on Mental Illness Michigan Honors Award for Administrator. A well-deserved nomination for everything that NYN does for our community.
Agreed. I really liked the Mental Health Awareness Month of May when they really did a lot of social media posts about each of the things that the different staff members who work for Northville Youth Network do for our community. It's really awesome.
Another thing that I thought was really interesting reading over their report was talking again about the Mustang Mentors program at the high school, and just how excited I am that they are partnering with the high school to work on that program. And personally, I'm excited because I have an 8th grader moving up to the high school to be a 9th grader next year. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how much of an impact that has. I know hearing from the high school and the counseling office there that it's had a big impact, and I'm excited to see it firsthand, so.
That's awesome. Thanks for
Yeah.
looking that up. Great. All right. Well, what we're really here for tonight is retirement recognition. So excited to move into that. Let's first do our motion. Is that that's the right next step? Let's go ahead with, I'll turn this, I guess I will read it. Like to move that for motion 116, that the board approve the retirement resolutions honoring retiring staff members for their years of service to the children, families, and staff of Northville Public Schools.
Support.
Okay. Motion properly presented and by me, President McTerr, and supported by Dr. Campbell-Voitel. This will require a roll call vote.
Okay, I have to say, every year it's really tempting to vote no on this because these wonderful people are leaving our community. But, you know, they have given us a lot of their time and talents for many years, and we're very thankful for that. So without further ado, Trustee Riggenmauer.
Yes.
President McIntyre.
Yes.
Vice President Campbell-Voitel.
Yes.
Treasurer Stewart.
Yes.
Secretary Meyer, I vote yes. Trustee Frazier.
Yes.
And Trustee Mabry.
Yes.
All right. Then I will hand it over to, who am I handing it over to?
I'll go ahead and start it off, I believe. So, wow. There's a quote that a friend of mine once said that on nights like this hits especially hard, and that the days are long, but the years are short. And to give your life and the people here tonight and those honoring them truly in service of families that aren't your own, kids that aren't your own, but a community that very much is your own. Hopefully you're finding a little bit of time to reflect tonight on the fact of the power of that. In a world that sometimes can feel tough and difficult, each of you answered a calling, whether it's the folks that I'm going to be able to speak about regarding their 25 years of service, and we have many up there, and a number have come tonight, and the kind words that you're going to hear from the people who know the retirees really, really well. So we're going to go ahead and attend to the 25-year piece, and then I'll ask our people honoring the retirees to please come up to this podium here. I'll go ahead and hand you the certificate, and it's an emotional night. I am so grateful for each of you. I saw Mary Kay Gallagher here earlier, and just thinking back, the joy I saw were people around her that she knew and had worked with years and years ago. I will say one gentleman, and you know who you are, probably made a comment to try to get Mary Kay that you're lucky she didn't hit you. Jim, I'm looking at you. But as far as age and so on, but again, we're here together tonight, and that's what matters. And if you look to my left, that will be a bit later, but the Mother's Club Legacy Gift. And what I would offer is when we're finished here, if you have an opportunity to take a look at those, you'll hear the story of them. I think you'll find it's really wonderful. So with that said, I am going to go ahead and ask Mr. Tom Boomer to come on up, 25 years of service.
Oh,
Joe Sislow, come on down. Jen Lawson. Matt Menard. And finally, Paula Similis. All right. Oh, man. While the 25-year people were exceptionally happy to honor you, there is with tomorrow being our final half day, there is a finality to saying goodbye and recognizing some of these folks, some of which many of you have known for probably over 30 years, for the people who are here to honor them. Let's be proud of them. Devin, if you'd like to please come up, and Julie Worm. I think it's the bottom button. Oh, there you go.
There it is. It wasn't on, really. Okay, so, wow. Two things can be true about the exact same situation. You can be so incredibly excited for someone and so incredibly sad at the same time. I have known Julie now for 6 years, and I will tell you, she is truly the best early literacy instructor that I have ever seen. She is a master at what she does and how she delivers. And the thing that I love about Julie is that she never has stopped learning. And when something new comes and she sees a merit to it, she jumps in with 2 feet and does it, which is why part of her retirement is because of what is next. So when Julie started teaching, we had these like mimeograph things that you did this. I don't know if you remember those, right? And there were chalkboards, and then there was the time of the vis-a-vis, and you came home with like vis-a-vis marker all the way down your arm. But she's now moving on to working for an AI company where she's sharing her literacy knowledge with Snorkel. And I'm so excited for what she is going to bring to that next level of education for us, because we will continue to benefit from her expertise and for just who she is. So Julie, thank you for teaching me. Thank you for teaching kids. And thank you for everything that you have done. The impact you have had on our school and our community, it will last for so long. So thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Garcia and Jen.
You
I did. How could I skip Mike Zoff? Because I went down, because I never wanted him to leave. No offense, Devin, you're great. But Michael Zoff and Rebecca Peck, thank you.
See, this is why I need this man. He tells me how all the equipment works. So I have the honor and absolute privilege of talking about Mike Zoff tonight. Many of you know of him. Many of you know him in your interactions with Northville Public Schools. And all of you that have had any experience with Mike Zoff know the kind and gentle nature of this wonderful leader that Northville was lucky enough to have for 14 years. 14 years. I won't read this screen to you, but I will tell you that this was Mike's second career. He decided to just dabble for a little bit after he retired from Ford Motor Company. And side fact, I also worked in the private sector, and I think I was in the plants that he was managing and the finance side a few times because my travels took me to him. So I feel like I'm very connected to Mike on many different ways, and we talked a lot about, Ford Motor Company and the business world and how the world of business it connects so tightly with the world of education and teaching and learning and the insights that he brought to us over the years. I will say that one of my favorite things that Mike would say to us frequently, to me and others, hey, I read this great book, or I read this great article over the weekend. I really found a lot of insight in it. And he would get us to look at things outside of our world, our bubble of education, and see how we can apply those great things to make Northville the place that it is today. Mike was, instrumental in bringing this district back to its shining glory of what it is today. He was part of the group of fine finance people and leaders that took districts from marching off that fiscal cliff into oblivion, into a thriving organization right now. So we thank you. I know that you're going to say, I had a lot of help, Rebecca. I didn't do it by myself, but you were an instrumental leader in that. And for that, Northville is forever grateful. We're so happy for Mike. He is traveling with his absolutely beautiful wife, Deb, who is here today. She has been, there she is. She has just been the rock. Their story is beautiful. I wish I had time to tell it to you. But I just know that every time I see Mike after retirement, and certainly before retirement, but definitely after retirement, he is enjoying his time with his children and his grandchildren and his wife, and traveling and doing all of the wonderful things that he read about in books and shared with us. So on behalf of Northville and everybody that here and that you've come in contact with, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Bugar, Ms. Garcia.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you Frances Garcia, who worked for years before I started at Cook, at Bryant and at Cook, having worked mostly with our oldest population. Frances took the opportunity to work in every department at our school. Thank you. Appreciate that. And last year, the first year that I started, rather, we did an activity where we wanted to see what everyone brought to Cook, or Team Cook as we call it. When I did that activity, Frances's page read, "Curious and fun." I've shared a dunk tank with her on more than 1 year. Most of the time, Frances was in it longer than me, just because she's a trooper like that. I think that Frances is one of the most hardworking people that I have the opportunity to know, and she is always there to lend a hand to others. In fact, that's the only reason she left us, so that she could help her family.
Sometimes Frances would come to me at the end of the year and say, Jen, I need a change. I'd like to move to this classroom. So she did, and she had a great year. And sometimes she stayed, and sometimes she moved to another classroom just for me. And she said, Jen, you know me, you can put me anywhere. I just love kids. Frances would make memory books for the kids at the end of every year, no matter what classroom she was in. Each book was filled with pictures and work samples and the things that students capture, really the memories and the things that they did all across the year. She took the books with the kids and she had them work with her so that every one of those kids left with those memories and got signatures from all the important people in their lives. Frances never met a difficult kid that she didn't like. The hardest ones were always with Frances. Not because they had to be, but because she has a sense of duty, a work ethic, and love for these students. Always shows in her face, in her smile, and her work with our kids. When you have someone who works with that sense of service, it really makes it hard to replace. Frances left us in December. We have not replaced her yet, and we already miss her. I'd like to close with a poem for our irreplaceable Frances. Mix a little shake of laughter in the doings of the day. Scatter golden bits of sunshine as you plod along the way. Stop to cheer a fellow human that's a bit worse off than you. Help him climb the pesky ladder that you find so hard to do. Show by every motive, every thought, and every deed, you are the one fold that can turn when they find themselves in need. Just forget the rugged places. Make believe they're slick and smooth. And when you spot the troubled faces, pull a grin and try to soothe. Life's a game, might be a short one, but play it gamely while you can. Thank you, and congratulations, Frances.
All right, thank you, Miss Simons, Miss Pop. Wow, all right. Oh, yeah. So early childhood.
Okay, I had to write mine down so we didn't just stare at each other and cry. So, so today I have the honor of recognizing Danielle's longstanding commitment to our district and the Early Childhood and Extended Day program. Danielle began her journey with us as a high school co-op, for those of you that didn't know, and she's dedicated almost 40 years to the district. So I think 38, right? Yeah, long time. For the majority of her career, she has served as our billing specialist and administrative assistant. So just to give you an idea of how far we've come, Danielle used to handwrite tuition payments, and now she can access them through an app on her phone. And that's why I've been told this is called a adding machine. This used to be Danielle's baby. So we pulled that out for you. It's a parting gift for you, yeah. But really, this transformation of all of the changes that our program's been through is a testament to Danielle's forward thinking and growth mindset. I know ever since I started in my role, Danielle has consistently come up with innovative ways to improve processes by thinking outside of the box and leveraging technology. And you love your Google Forms, and I love that. Danielle is a helper by nature, listening to others with empathy and understanding, then quickly jumping in to offer help. From sharing connections for even something simple as home projects, helping a family get the resources they need, which you've done so many times, and even to planning a benefit for a staff member with a diagnosis. She's made a significant impact on those she's worked with. As Danielle heads into retirement, she's excited to spend more time with family, Doug, Jacob, and friends, travel and volunteer. We know she'll bring the same energy and passion to these new adventures as she did here. Danielle, thank you for your years of dedication, hard work, and the countless memories that you've created with us. We wish you all the best in your retirement and hope you have all of the fulfillment and joy that you deserve. So thank you.
Next, Miss Morfino, if you could please come up with Mary. Thank you.
Okay, so tonight I'm honored to recognize Mary Buffone for 27 years of service at Northville Public Schools, all in the food service department. Mary has worked just about every position in food service, but for the last 11 years, she's been the kitchen coordinator at Cook School. And all of you know how special Cook School is, but it's extra special when you're working in the food service department. Not only does Mary have to feed the kids, but she has to make sure that all of their food is according to their special diets. So Mary makes sure that all of the kids have food that's safe and nutritious for them to eat. And she works really hard at making sure that they get the right thing. Don't, you're gonna make me cry. So not only is Mary excellent at her job, she's a pleasure to work with. She is kind, caring, thoughtful, and understanding. She is level-headed and approachable. She has built relationships with the students, knows all of their names. She knows what they are excited about and how to make them smile. She has also worked with all the staff members on Cook's team. She works with the nurses, the OTs, the paras, the teachers, and the administration. They all know her well and know that she has the students' best interests at heart. It's going to be hard for all of us. Mary's sad to leave the kids, and we're sad to see her go. Fortunately, we have about 4 weeks left, so it's not really goodbye yet. Although I've been crying for about 4 weeks already. She will be missed not only because she's a valued employee, but because of the relationship she's made with all of us at Northville. I know she's thoughtfully considered when the right time was to retire. Unfortunately for us, that time is now. She will spend more time with her sisters, her mother, and her husband, and her children, and more time at her cottage up north. Thank you. If you see Mary out on one of her daily walks, because she's a Northville resident, give her a beep and a wave.
She's going to start to wonder why everyone's honking at her.
All right, Mr. Ryman from Moraine Elementary. Deb.
So this is always a neat opportunity on a night like tonight to introduce someone like Deb for those of you in the community that might not know her. In a room full of so many educators and so many years of experience, with 24 years of dedication to our students, there's a lot that you can say about Deb here in this forum. And what I'll say is, when I think about Deb, two things come to mind, and that's people and moments. Deb made it her job every day to make a difference on people that she ran into, not just the students, but the parents, whether it was at the crosswalk, sharing an anecdote with a nanny that was dropping off students, or connecting with our teachers on a daily basis. Deb made a difference at our school. And it was all in these little moments that you would have. So when putting together this slide for Deb, you think of something, you're like, oh, that's the thing that makes Debbie a little bit unique. And then you think of something else, you'd be like, no, that's the thing that makes Debbie a little bit unique. If you get 5 minutes or frankly, probably about 25 minutes. Deb could tell you 24 stories about a lot of people in this room. That is an accurate statement. That is an accurate statement. So I think it really sums up a couple of weeks ago. We're lining up to come into the school, and one of our kindergartners comes up to me with just this confused look on his face. He's like, "Mr. Ryman, I heard Miss E is retiring. Why would she ever want to do that?" And it came from a place of like, here's someone who loves her job every day. Why would someone ever want to leave that? And when you see a picture of those grandkids, you can see exactly why. That's a reason that you would want to go take that next step. And so I know all of us at Moraine will be missing the stories. I personally will be missing our trading of dad jokes on a weekly basis. But when you're someone that shares as many stories as Deb has shared, that's something that's going to last much longer than her time physically in the building. So Deb, thanks for all your time at Moraine and at Northville Public Schools.
Thank you.
And I know Mr. Koski has two, Janice and Laura, so let me get those together, and I'm sure Tony will call you guys up. Thanks.
Janice is next up. So first of all, we had our retirement celebration this morning at Northville High School. And I wish I could have canned Emily Aluya and Crystal Muhammad talked about their colleague and friend Janice, and it was incredible. I should have just videotaped that and not came tonight because it was incredible. So I'm not going to do justice to what they said this morning. It was simply incredible. So I just wanted to say that. So I'm going to highlight some of the things on the slide. Certainly aren't going to read it, and then I'm going to kind of summarize a little bit. But first of all, I think one of the biggest things you see up there is overall champion for kids and teachers. That's Janice. All the different positions Janice has had impact on. Look at all those positions up there. But she's had so much impact on teachers, students, parents. It's incredible. Some things that you don't know about Janice. Well, first of all, Janice to our administrative team also is a steady voice, a calm presence for some of us who are a little nutty at times. She calms us down, gives us reason, and that's Janice. But some things you don't know about Janice, and I've noticed lately, it's come up a little bit more. She's hilarious. People don't know that about Janice. You would never think that. But her one-line zingers are incredible. And I've noticed as of late, I've been a target of many of them. So on her way out, she's hitting me hard. So I'm gonna pay her back a little bit right now. So about a month ago, our administrative team in celebrating Janice and celebrating our team, we went to Janetti's. And she ended up on stage somehow secretly, and I think she's paying me back. But so I'm going to ask Janice. She's going to have an interview question tonight, so I'm going to ask Jan. So I wasn't going to embarrass her, but Janice, if you were in an interview, in the old question, what are the three words that describe you? I'll take that away from her. So simply, intelligent, thoughtful. I'm going to put those together. Calming, balancing force, and genuine care for kids and people. So summarizing that slide up there, which is a lot of stuff from a lot of different people. I talked to students first and foremost, talked to colleagues in our administrative team. I'm going to summarize this, which was a note in one of Janice's presents today, because it summarizes it really well. Janice, congratulations on a well-deserved retirement. 35 years of loyal and dedicated service to students, teachers, staff, parents, and admin. Wow. We will truly miss your quiet and steady leadership, your caring ways, and wise guidance. You are always there to give us balance, focus, and remind us what is most important. You are a model of our motto of kids come first. You made a positive impact on so many students, and it has always been about what is best for them. Now go and have some fun with more travel and leisurely mornings with Bill, with respect, admiration, and love from your colleagues and friends at NHS. Thank you, Janice. Laura, will you before you come up, you're going to get that same question. So it's the same interview question. So again, same thing this morning. Same thing this morning is her French colleague, Sabrina Larocco, talked about Laura this morning. And I can't even do that justice, just like Emily and Crystal. But I'm going to try, give my best to honor somebody who's given so much to our school community and students in general. So first of all, some things that really stand out with her colleagues that I need to mention. First of all, speaks 3 languages. But what her colleagues always talk about are her travel and her life experiences that she's had, whether it's cool stories about living in Brazil and Africa, and just how she brings that not only to the classroom, but to their lives daily, and really makes being a colleague interesting with Laura. You know, in her baked goods, historic. I mean, I just hear about your baked goods, and again, her fun life stories. And I also want to say, what a special time. A second grandchild last night, granddaughter, McKenna Marie was born last night. So obviously, that's what a lot of her time's going to spend. So same trivia question. If I had to summarize that slide up myself, just by how I know Laura, these would be some of the words you heard. If I said 3 words or phrases that explain Laura: knowledgeable, passionate about content, but more importantly, passionate about kids, and huge-hearted. Those are things that come to mind. And again, same thing, kind of culminating all that stuff up there without reading the slide. This was in one of her retirement gifts this morning. Congratulations, Laura. We will miss your huge heart and passion, knowledge for language that was evident every day in your classroom. Thank you for being a helpful, dedicated, and loyal colleague who always brings a smile. You've had a positive impact on so many students by sharing your love and knowledge of language with them. Thank you, and truly enjoy your extra time with your grandbabies. Congrats again, the NHS A team, office staff, and the entire NHS staff. Congratulations, Laura.
Next, Miss Booth. Come on down, Ann.
This evening, I have the pleasure of celebrating the retirement of Ann Labadie. We are here not only to mark the end of a remarkable chapter, but to celebrate a legacy that has touched countless lives. We are here to honor a truly extraordinary educator who has dedicated her entire career to Silver Springs Elementary, from the day she started until the day she retired. From the very first day she stepped into her classroom, Ann brought with her a passion for teaching that never wavered. She truly loved every minute she spent at Silver Springs, and anyone who had the privilege of working with her or being in her classroom could see that love in action every single day. For decades, she poured her heart into her students, striving to make each one feel seen, heard, and valued, and that truly is her superpower. Her classroom was a place where every child was encouraged to be their own kind of awesome. She believed in the power of kindness, the importance of connection, and the magic that happens when a student realizes their potential. One of her most cherished memories was teaching her son Jameson for part of 4th grade. Who's out there? Hi, Jameson. A moment that brought her immense joy and pride, but that was just one of the many highlights in a career filled with meaningful moments. Many, and I say many, former students and families returned to visit her long after their Silver Springs days were over, a testament to the lasting impact she made. Though her journey in the classroom has come to a close far sooner than she would have liked, her story is far from over. Ann is looking forward to spending more time with her beloved family and friends, traveling and embracing all the beauty life still has to offer. We are deeply grateful for the years she gave, the lives she touched, and the love she shared so freely. Anne, thank you for everything. Your legacy will live on in the halls of Silver Springs and in the hearts of all who were lucky enough to know you. Now, before we close, there's an audience participation part of all of this. Anyone who has ever left Anne's classroom knows that you never walked out without a smile and without the class saying, "Have a fantastic day." It was her way of celebrating anyone who walked through the doors of her classroom, lifting them up and sending them out into the world with confidence and joy. So now, tonight, let's return the favor. Let's give Anne one final unforgettable send-off. So please join me as we celebrate Anne by hoping she has a fantastic day. So when I count to 3, we're all going to say, "Have a fantastic day." Ready? 1, 2, 3. Have a fantastic day. Anne, thank you for being a mighty force of love, learning, and light.
And Miss Lindsay, come on down as well.
All right, so I did write some notes because anybody that knows me knows that I talk a lot. So I'm going to try to stay brief. I have the privilege of talking about Kim Nicholas. She has been at Winchester for many years and my entire career at Winchester, and I'm so thankful for her. Kim is one of those rare people who seems to have been born with creativity in her bones. You name it. Painting, drawing, cross-stitching, sewing, cricket crafting, refinishing, refurbishing. I'm sure I've left something out. She does it all and she does it brilliantly. Her creativity wasn't just a personal passion though. It radiated throughout her classroom and into the lives of her students. You could see it in the way she decorated her space, designed engaging lessons, and brought learning to life in beautiful and meaningful ways. She was also a trailblazer in the classroom, one of the first to embrace online planning tools, complete with links to standards, lesson resources, and slide decks, always ahead of the curve. She thought how to make things better, not just for herself, though, for her colleagues and her students. She is a teacher that sees the best in all students. She provided students with a tremendous amount of love, humor, and consistency. Kim has been the ultimate team player, whether it was designing morning announcement slides, creating leadership notebook inserts, or volunteering for just about anything. She was always there, ready to help, ready to serve, and always with a smile and a sense of humor that made even the busiest days a little brighter around Winchester. As she steps into retirement, Kim is looking forward to spending more time with her family, diving deeper into her crafting and quilting passions, and traveling to new places. And while we are so excited for her, we can't help but feel the loss. We will deeply miss her willingness to serve everyone, her incredible creativity, and her wonderful sense of humor. Kim, thank you for everything and all that you do. You've left a lasting mark on Winchester and all of us lucky enough to work with you. I wish you joy, peace, and endless inspiration in this next chapter. You've more than earned it. Congratulations.
And Ms. McIntyre, before we maybe have some board comments and so on, I just ask for everyone in the room, just let's hold a moment of loving and respectful energy to give to all of our retirees tonight. So just join me in a moment, please. So much goodness in this room. Thank you.
Of course. To start. I was taking some notes. It's really hard to capture all of that so fast. So many really magical educators, thinking about 38 years, 35 years, sometimes even shorter tenured teachers leave a real significant impact on a community. So I'm just grateful for the love and energy and commitment to learning and educating that I think being an educator in the past 5 or 6 years has been incredibly demanding. And I'm grateful for each of you who have honed your craft, who have met all of the needs of the various different students. I was talking with somebody earlier today who we know what the problems were this year. We never know what the problems are going to be next year with students. And it shows me that each and every day, each and every year, each of you have shown up to do the things that count for kids, to do what's right for kids, what's best for kids. And I think that's one of the things that really stands out here in Northville Public Schools. So grateful for educators, food service, paraprofessionals. We are all educators when we are in this community working with kids. So honoring each of you. And I'm grateful that you were able to come let us celebrate you tonight. I think that's a really important thing for all of us too, to reflect on your contributions and the magic that you've brought to our students and each one of us. So that is what I wanted to start with. And I don't know who else has comments tonight. Do I get to go ahead? Yeah, of course.
I think we would be remiss if we also don't honor and recognize the families that have supported these wonderful educators at every level and in every angle in our school who have done heroes work, as you so well described, Lisa. But it also takes the people that love you, that fill your cup at home when you're tired, because we all know we get home when we're pretty much at the end of our energy, and it's our family that puts their arms around us and lifts us up and helps us recover and get ready for the next day. So I think that we respectfully are honoring the family and the people around each of you that have smoothed the path for you for so many years in your careers with us. So we're very grateful for all of the people that contributed to the success of our students and our district. So we give you our applause too.
All right, we'll go on and enjoy retirement. I think in years past, we waited to take the vote after, but I just am really grateful for the opportunity to have celebrated each of you that are here tonight. So enjoy retirement, whatever's next. It's an exciting time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you all in the families as well. I think, Kim, as you said, being the families of a public educator, I am sure you all played various roles of support at various times, even if it was just listening after. Sometimes it could be a day. So thank you for that. The privilege next to bring up the Mothers Club of Northville Life members as we learn about the two beautiful gifts that are on this easel. Thank you.
Oh, they're leaving. Is this on? Okay. Good evening. My name is Lisa Ingalls, and I am one of the co-presidents of the Mothers Club of Northville Life Members group. And sadly, this will be our last year as an organization. So when Jan Pertel brought us an idea for a legacy gift from Jim and Martha Neild, I was thrilled with the idea. This has been very near and dear to my heart. I can almost say I was born and raised in Northville. We moved here when I was 1 year old with my parents. And so this was a very special project because I attended 2 of these schools as a student. I will add that I did not attend the schools built in the 1800s that burnt to the ground. That was a little before my time. So I appreciate you letting us come here tonight and present these gifts. I know you have a very busy agenda, so thank you. And next, I would like to introduce Carol Doyle, who is the other co-president of the club, and she will provide you with a little more information on the Legacy Project and the club. So thank you again for having us.
Mothers Club of Northville began in 1935 The original purpose was to provide milk to local school children. The group of community-minded women grew to a limited membership of 35 since the meetings were held in homes. Through the years, a variety of fundraising activities allowed grants to be awarded to teachers for special projects and needs. Over 40 years ago, a Life Members group was formed for women who had been in the club for at least 10 years. The focus was to fundraise for scholarships for Northville High School seniors. Multiple $1,000 scholarships were awarded through the years, but this, our final year, our 4 scholarships were $2,000 each. Since the Life Members all have long ties to the community, the club voted to create a legacy gift. We are proud to present a framed photo collage of the 5 high schools that Northville students have attended since 1865. This will be hung at the beginning of the display of composites at the high school created by Martha and Jim Neild, who are here with us tonight. Michelle Fecht and Steve Banchero contributed to the success of this project. Martha and Jim generously offered their time, suggestions, and contacts in order for our idea to be completed. Jan Pertel was the point person for this project and worked tirelessly on every detail. We are also pleased that our remaining funds allowed us to present a second gift that will be displayed at the board office. So on behalf of all the Life Members and all our community involvement and volunteer hours, we're happy to leave something behind. Thank you.
So as a historian, I'll say to the 4 of you right there in your contribution, and also a photographer, pictures say so much without having to have anything written. And there's obviously power in these particular pictures, deep power. But when I'm at our high school, and the very first time I saw some of those early composites, and they're early. Jim, Martha, what's the first year that a composite? 1901. And it really is an amazing story. Michigan is a fairly new territory. I won't bore you with the historical stuff, but to have that level of time here and to see our kids in those particular composites really is amazing. And as Tony knows, like, that building is massive. So it's also, when I was first here, my way to know I was getting close to maybe the counseling office, or my way out, when I would see a composite, and then like breadcrumbs, I'd follow the composites until I found my way out. So there are multiple things. But sincerely, thank you for your generosity. And tonight, as I mentioned, for our retirees and their families, there's a sense of pride, I hope, as they exited and will exit, and for you all as well. Service above self is something that is more than laudable. I mean, we know that for those who do it, like you all, it brings you your own satisfaction and joy in life. But the gifts that you've given so many people by putting your energy and effort in order to make sure the story is told, and told well. And I can imagine, I think we already have a place for the board office one. My head's spinning on that one, and it looks absolutely wonderful. So I will say on behalf of our district team, thank you. And also, I have the privilege of being at the Old Village School, and they just don't build buildings like that anymore. I think, people wonder why I get so excited about the terrazzo, because it's quality terrazzo. I mean, it's over 100 years old. It doesn't go bad. And the building is just fantastic. And I can't imagine the kids who walked in and out of that building for all those years. So thank you for cementing that memory for us.
A really awesome gift to have poured into our students. Beautiful.
Oh, last week was a terribly fantastic week in so many ways. And there were really a couple. First, graduation on the class of 2025. Going on those ideas and markers, I look to my right, and there are some of us who, when we thought about 2025, it seems such a long way away, maybe at one point of our life, and yet it's here. I Miss Meyer, I know that you had one on that stage with you. And the idea of public education and what we do and how we serve our kids is everything, from the people in the room tonight to the people to my right to the people in front of me. And there is a real power when you have over 500 students and their families so proud of their journey through Northville. We also have the very good fortune of Cook School, and we had our Cook School graduation last week as well. And our Cook students are with us until the age of 26. And it was a shining example of why public schools matter and will continue to matter. We serve each child in our community, and we serve them very, very well. The teachers and our administrators, every educator cares. But the payoff moment in some ways is if you take a look at this slide and you look at the smiles on the faces, and if you were fortunate enough to be at either of those events, you couldn't help but feel it. And it's amazing. I don't know how Mr. Koski keeps the hand going through 500, I think 650 last year, but almost 572 or 582 this year. It's big. We have the 4th largest high school in the state of Michigan. So that was a great part of last week. Thank you. Quick update on our branding and unification work. Really proud of our team who are working on our revamped website, and then a number of board members as well as community members and administrators this week will be taking a look at colorways and how we can further unify the messaging in our district. Really rooted in the Mustang, the iconic Mustang of the high school and that silhouette. How do we work towards codifying that silhouette-esque image throughout? And how do we have a much better user experience for our families and our kids? I was working with 2 high school art students last week, and I just showed them a quick picture to get their pulse on it. And it made my heart sing when they both looked at each other and they said, this feels like a full district is coming together when they looked at the picture of all the different pieces we're working on. So sorry for the 3 of you. That's all you'll get right now until Thursday, but it's okay. I look forward to the feedback. Next, please. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is huge. Massive thank you to Jim Gordon, assistant principal at the high school, Will at Meads Mill, Rebecca Peck, on working on Mr. Lambden on our electronic hall pass system, which we'll be implementing next year. And really think of it as a way back in the day. I guess I'm channeling my history tonight. You get a piece of paper if you went out and needed a hall pass, correct? Now, though, with electronics and that ability, we're able to have kids be able to sign in and out of their class. A lot of great reasons for that. I mentioned 2,400 students at our high school, 4th largest high school in the state of Michigan. You can imagine with 52 doors in that building, knowing where kids are is a very important thing to teachers and administrators. So we'll be implementing it here at Hillside, at Meads Mill, and the high school next year. And we did have a presentation on that about a month ago, I think, Rebecca. Maybe. I usually go with a month if I'm really kind of cloudy. It seems like it makes sense. Oh, it's all right. We'll find one that works for you if you'd like to say something.
I love my team. My team.
We help each other out.
We will help each other out in all sorts of ways. So yes, we did talk about it back in March, when we were considering, should we do something like this? The team had been looking at it for about a year. That's both the middle schools. So Patrick Ignami here at Meads Mill, Will Lambden Hillside. Patrick's here at Hillside. Will is over at Meads Mill. And then, of course, Mr. Gordon at the high school. They've been looking at this and studying this for a long time. They narrowed it down to 3 different products that are out there that are being used. And then they did a 40-day evaluation period, and they engaged with teachers and students, because students are part of this too. At the end of that 40-day evaluation period, they settled on SmartPass, which it didn't surprise me. The other systems had some additional bells and whistles, different but same. SmartPass probably is the most robust system on the back end of the data reporting that comes out of it, that will prove to be the most useful for our MTSS teams. As well as, from the safety perspective, how we navigate with our hall monitors and connect that work together with our teachers. So about 3,000 schools use this system, SmartPass, nationwide, and the majority of our peer districts are also using this. The teachers, the staff, and the students that were part of this process in all three levels found it very easy to use. The students liked it because they weren't putting themselves out on Front Street, walking up to the desk and getting the pass. The system works a little bit more quietly in the background. And there's controls that can be put on that system. So a student can't take a pass every day for, 15 minutes at a time. There's some controls around that that support students, but also gives them some of that autonomy that they need when they just need to go, right? As Dr. Weber said, we're working through the process right now of that implementation. I've worked with technology along with the assistant principals, and we expect to have that up and running in 25-26.
Thank you very much. And thank you for the board for that support, and obviously all the staff who worked on that as a safety measure. We're grateful for that. Wow, that was a big section. And again, thank you so much. And I know we have what's next, which I believe President McIntyre is public comment.
Thank you. My board packet's kind of twisted around here tonight. Okay, let's see. All right, so this is our first opportunity for public comment. I don't know if we have any blue cards. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, where is agenda item number 9?
Oh, the next agenda item is,
There we go. Now it's
hires.
10. Okay, there we go.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
and I will hand it over to you, Ms. Meyer.
Yeah, so it's kind of full circle, right? We're saying goodbye to a lovely group of people and welcoming another group. So I bring forward motion 117 that the board award 1-year probationary NEA teacher contracts to the following staff for the 2025-26 school year as presented. Alexa Kiefer, Griffin Boyson, and Bryce Baumgart.
Support.
Okay, we have motion properly presented by Ms. Meyer, supported by Ms. Stewart. Looking forward to hearing more about our new teachers.
Absolutely. Thank you, President McIntyre and Secretary Meyer. So yes, we're excited to recommend 3 hires this evening. The first among those is Alexa Kiefer for English teaching position at Northville High School. Alexa, not only student taught at Northville High School this past school year, but she is also a graduate of Northville High School. We had an outstanding field of candidates, I must tell you. And while our committee was faced with very tough determination, Alexa's interview coupled with the interview that she basically conducted throughout her student teaching, that all shone through in the end. Alexa's a graduate of not only Northville High School, but Michigan State University, receiving her Bachelor of Arts with a major in secondary English and a minor in psychology. As part of her teacher preparation program, she was required to be with us for the entire school year, starting from day one, and then, well, I shouldn't say the entire school year, but wrapping up in April. So she got the full taste of a school year, essentially. During her interview, Alexa identified herself as an entrepreneur. But another theme that emerged through her interview, and certainly is evidenced in her different experiences, is she's very mission-oriented. Someone who seeks to have a positive impact on the lives of others. The classroom is certainly one place where she can do that and has done that thus far, but she's also done incredible work with her family's The Kiefer Foundation, that among other things educates around the dangers of distracted driving, as well as her work with the Rhonda Walker Foundation, where she assisted in creating opportunities for teenage girls in the city of Detroit. Our interview committee is excited about Alexa's potential and the work she will do with students of Northville High School. Alexa Kiefer. I think Alexa's here. There she is. And then we also have a couple physical education, elementary physical education teachers this evening, both Bryce Baumgart and Griffin Bozen. I believe Bryce is here. There he is. So Bryce Baumgart is a recent Madonna University graduate with a Bachelor of Science in pre-K through 12th grade, physical education and health, and a minor in mathematics. He's a graduate of Plymouth Canton Schools, where he also completed his student teaching at the secondary level, while having his pre-student teaching experience at the elementary level. Bryce's references all independently shared about his sincere and intentional demeanor and the great relationships those characteristics help to foster with students. That disposition was evident in both of his interviews, not to mention the detail he shared around content focus areas for elementary physical education and the importance of routines. And a true story, Bryce is also a former third grade student of none other than Mr. Deegan Jewett. That didn't get him the job, but an important fact nonetheless. And that's back when Deegan himself was an elementary classroom teacher. Bryce would undoubtedly be a great addition to our district and the elementary PE team. Bryce Baumgart. And then last but not least is Griffin Bozen, also for an elementary PE position. Griffin couldn't be with us because he's actually wrapping up his school year in Marquette. But Griffin's a graduate from Northern Michigan University with a Bachelor's of Science in Secondary Education with a concentration in physical education. Griffin student taught at Marquette Senior High School in the Upper Peninsula, while also spending some time this past year serving as a building substitute in the same building. His enthusiasm and energy are truly one of a kind. In fact, following his interviews, I reached out to the current principal at Marquette Senior High, who vouched for that energy and enthusiasm. I asked him, I said, is this for real? And he said, absolutely. And he went a step further to say that Griffin will do anything one asks of him, a true team player, and that he wished he had a PE opening for him. Among the other aspects our interview team truly appreciated was Griffin's account of the difficulties he had in school during the first several years of elementary school, until he eventually had a class with a PE teacher who changed his outlook on school entirely. So much so that Griffin desired to follow in this teacher's footsteps and create a positive impact for the students who he would have the privilege to serve as a teacher himself. We look forward to Griffin's enthusiasm and to observing the impact Griffin will no doubt have. So on behalf of the central office administrative team, I recommend that the Board of Education approve a probationary contract for Alexa Kiefer, Bryce Baumgart, and Griffin Bozen for the 25-26 school year. All supporting documents are included within your board packet. Thank you.
Awesome. I mean, truly, this is a great start to our hiring experience for the summer. I'm super excited. It sounds like each of them brings some leadership and so much enthusiasm. I love that, Ms. Kiefer, that you have your mentor teacher is here with you tonight as well. I think that's a really special connection. Just, yeah, really seeing things come full circle in our district is another really special opportunity. So I don't know if anybody has anything else to say. I'm excited for the leadership also around the distracted driving piece. I think that is awesome to see people taking those opportunities to turn some difficult things into something really impactful and positive that benefits the rest of us. So I can't not wait to see what else happens out of this cohort of new teachers. So it's really awesome.
It's exciting to see, young new teachers coming into the district, especially on the heels of a retirement ceremony, celebrating teachers that have been working in the district their entire career. And so I'm not that you have to work here your entire career, but people do, so you could.
We do welcome that. That's a beautiful thing too. Awesome. All right, well, let's move ahead with a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, amazing. Welcome to Northville.
Welcome. Okay.
All right.
Should I bring forward the next motion? Okay, I bring forward motion 118 that the board award a 2-year Colt contract to Emily Polanski for the, oh goodness, you're right, this is 2025 to 2027 school years as presented.
Support. Okay, we have a motion properly presented by Ms. Meyer and supported by Ms. Maurer. Love to hear more.
So I'm standing here hoping you'll ask.
Yes.
Before I do that, though, I would like to invite Emily up to stand with me. You know how I love to put administrators on the spot, right? So thank you for joining me. So today I am presenting to you a candidate for the open assistant superintendent of instructional services position that, as you know, became vacant due to a vacancy created when Mr. Aaron Boffman moved into the AI strategist position on loan. As you know, that position became available in January, not the best time to post for a position. So with great thanks and gratitude, Dr. Sandra Brock stepped forward and has been leading very graciously and very energetically and making things happen for our students for the last 6 months. And I know that Dr. Weber and this entire team and the team of principals, thank you. So thank you very much for that. So on the nitty-gritty side of things, we posted the position when we thought we would get some candidates, and we did indeed get candidates. We got 95 candidates, as a matter of fact. Not all of them were candidates that probably should have applied for the position, but that's okay, because you don't get what you don't ask for. So in the process of interviewing, we reviewed those candidates. We narrowed it down to several candidates who went through a series of interview processes. As you know, our process for interviewing is very robust. We meet with candidates in all sorts of different settings so that we make sure that the folks that we bring before you today are a good fit for Northville Public Schools. And we make sure that those folks meet lots of our stakeholders. And I use that term, people laugh at me when I call stakeholders, but I don't know what else to say. It's the variety of people that we work with, and particularly these types of positions who they work with. So it's from the HR office to all the way to the superintendent's office and everywhere in between: teachers, principals, parents, community members, administrative staff, and support staff that work with these folks. Because again, these are important jobs. All jobs are important, but in this case, this is a job that you have to make sure that you're ready to go into, and everybody knows who you are and how you would fit in the organization. After all of that, a couple of months later, a lot of reflection, a lot of dialogue, Miss Emily Polanski has been selected to lead that position for the MPS Office of Instruction. So little background, Ms. Polanski is currently the Director of Secondary Education for Novi Community Schools, where she has been employed in several roles since 2001. Emily has worked in Novi Community Schools her entire professional career. She served at many, many levels, K through 12. She started as a science teacher, a high school science teacher. She also led the K-12 adoption of the next generation science standards, which was a 5-year journey for most districts, and Novi was no different. Before she became principal of a K-12 virtual school that Northville Public Schools partners with. I talk to a lot of people about Emily, and people that know her work. And the hardest part about that particular portion of this interview process was getting them off the phone because they wanted to continue to tell me the things that Emily has accomplished in her time. So I know a lot about Emily, and I've shared a lot with Dr. Weber and our team and others. But Ms. Polanski has a deep care and commitment to teaching and learning and to education. I kind of summarized what everybody told me into a sentence. Emily is known as a passionate educator and an adult learner who promotes instructional excellence and student learning through collaborative relationships with teachers, administrators, and all staff. Emily told me that she is very honored to be selected for this position and presented to you today. And she is looking forward to having the opportunity to serve this community in this very important leadership role. So on behalf of the Central Office Leadership Team, I recommend that the Board of Education approve a Central Office Administrator contract to Emily Polanski. And here I am, asking you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll say, we've known really since November, December, right, that we were going to have this open position, and we have had a lot of dialogue about what does curriculum look like in Northville? What are our needs on the board? We've had lots of conversations. We just started a Young Fives program. We have AI that's, part of our, what's next, and how do we continue to refine our curriculum and our instructional services. And I'm so grateful to you, Rebecca, and the team for all of the effort. There's a lot of work that goes into like these cabinet positions, right? These central office positions, because this is the heart of what we do. We educate 7,000 students. That's a lot of kids and all of their attached families, and all of the staff. So your background it really stands out. I know some of your work, particularly with young women and bringing them into sciences. Have seen some of the work that you've done with the HOSA group, and just how far that has reached into the high school, and then these other curricular pieces that you've been working on. It really stands out as a next step for Northville. And I think from the board's perspective, we have some incredible leaders in this community, and we are so fortunate to have the dedication and the willingness to step forward and be interested in kind of the what's next. So I think I want to honor also that commitment from others in our community that have said, I'm committed to this work in Northville and educating all of our kids and continuing to refine our practices. And I think one of our responsibilities at the board table is strategic planning and continuous improvement. And that is how we continue to be one of the top districts in the state of Michigan. And I know one of the directives we've been giving the superintendent also is that we don't want to just be the best in Michigan. We really want to be on the cutting edge of what are the best districts in the country doing, particularly as there's been conversations around Michigan is failing, kids in learning how to read. I know we're not failing in Northville. We're thriving, we're excelling. And I think that continuing to excel and get even better is what we're looking to accomplish at the board table with a cohesive group, right? That everybody that's involved in educating kids needs to have those inspiring leaders who are saying, no, we can do better. We've seen a lot of great work with the coaching model. That has been so impressive from the board table to see how that continues to engage students and actually seasoned educators as well. So I'm excited that you have been selected. I think that from what the team has been describing, it's a wonderful next step for you and for us. I'm only speaking just in terms of council. We haven't voted yet. But I don't know if any of my other colleagues have anything that they would like to add. I don't have to. My head is not on a swivel.
Oh, okay.
Whoever would like to, if there's anything that anybody else would like to add.
Well, I think that, the role of the board is to think strategically and to take 100,000-foot view to the work of this district. So in respect for that obligation, I think that we're, to reinforce what Lisa said, we're interested in not just what the needs are today, but what the needs will be 60 years from now when our kindergartners will be retiring. And so we are preparing the future workers and citizens of our country now, today. We need to be thinking about just what are those skills, and what is that reality going to be for them, and are we preparing them with the necessary skills? So, that's, I think, kind of an incumbent perspective that a leader in curriculum and instruction will carry us forward as a district in that direction. I think that we are a high-octane district. That's all there is to it. That's how I refer to it, kind of, from the hip. There are a lot of professional people in our district. The expectations are high. I'm not inferring anything. I'm just trying to draw a circle around what's going on here in this district. Lots of people care deeply and work tirelessly, and that's families all the way to the top, to, RJ and this wonderful team that we are so fortunate to have. And, but anyway, the future perspective is where we, as a board, we're interested in keeping that on our agenda too. So thank you for your preparation, what you bring.
I think too, the stakeholder interviews, right, really uncovered a lot of what the community also is looking for in terms of that forward thinking. Yes. Right. Do you have something to say?
I just want to say congratulations, welcome. I'm looking forward to getting to know you and your work. And I did want to say a big thank you to Dr. Brock. I've reached out many times with questions, and I appreciate all of your hard work.
I think we all do, that's for sure.
Yeah, agreed. I think that the 6 months you've done some incredible work on some really important initiatives, and I'm so grateful for that. The work did not stop. You kept going. You have been leading, and so grateful for your never-ending energy. I feel that support. All right. Anything else? All right. Let's.
Yeah, and I'd just like to quickly say something that I would point the board out to is that Ms. Polonsky is a national board certified teacher. And I was having a conversation with somebody about that, and they're like, well, tell me, what does that mean? Like, is it one of those things that, yeah, I could say I have a particular membership in something, but what's the depth of it? Well, there are only 4% of teachers across the country that actually earn that because of the level of rigor within that, and that's an NBCT status. Obviously, the choice that was made was one based on, and I think Kim or Lisa said it well, based upon not only what our district needs in the moment, but very poignant when you look at the pictures of the high schools that were. Yes, the kids who are kindergartners and who they will be and when they retire and so on is very real. I talked to Andrea Oquest, who's the superintendent of Livonia Schools, wonderful, wonderful person at the beginning of my work as a superintendent. And she said, RJ, the way I look at it, people like you and I are a speck of dust in the universe. It goes quickly. We're lucky to hold space. We're lucky to be here. And she said, so I try to do no harm and just to try to do as much good as I can. But the really easy tie-in is the fact that the work that we all do will impact kids, generations, and the world well beyond our own mortal life. So when we shed our mortal coil, the work that we've done means something. And in pointing out that commitment to being a teacher, Brian, you hired 3 tonight. That is the foundation of who we all are. We are teachers, we are educators, and no matter what, I am simply a teacher who became a superintendent, and it will always be the professional love of my life. So I'm really grateful for the team. I can't say enough about the core team that we have. Dr. Brock, Beth, who jumped in on early childhood, Darby, who helped Dr. Brock with a couple of things, one you're going to hear about shortly, but also the love that I have for the administrators that we have in the district currently. I have been privileged to do this work for over 30 years. And the collection of folks and what I've learned in the past 3 years has been extraordinary. So terribly, terribly excited for you to be here. And also for the work that we will continue to do. And Lisa, thank you for calling out the mark. It's not enough to be top in Michigan or a top district. This board is committed, Ms. Polonsky, to becoming one of the top districts in the country for all the right reasons, not just test scores, but how we attend to the social and emotional well-being of our staff who serve our kids and our kids. And that is a lot harder mix to do as we balance those things out. But one of the reasons I truly love this place is that for the educators who are here, they have shown a deep commitment in our relational practices work and so on. And I'm excited. So thank you.
Wonderful. All right, let's take a vote. All right, all in favor of hiring Ms. Polonsky as our next Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries 7-0.
Well, thank you. Thank you so
Welcome.
much.
Yeah.
And so I've been in her space enough to know that she has got a mental list of everything that you just said. So she'll have a memo for you tomorrow. But in the meantime, if you don't mind, can Emily say a few words? Do you mind?
Please do.
Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled to join this team at Northville. I have so much respect for the group that's here and the building leaders and the teachers and the families. Already, I have had families reaching out to me. I know they're high octane. One already gave me this pin last night, and I am just so excited to immerse myself in this community. You all said some lovely things about me. Thank you so much, but I'm really actually more interested in your experiences. It's the experiences of the students and the families and the insights of the teachers and the administrators. Some of them already shared some with me tonight, which I'm excited about those, that are really going to drive our work together forward. And I'm excited about what's next. It's with these insights, we can build on the amazing things that are already happening here, because I also want to hear about that too. What do we need to sustain this rich history here? And I'm just, again, looking forward to getting to know each one of you better and the work that we're going to do together. I have my family here tonight. My husband, Brent, is here, and my daughter, Clara, is here. My youngest daughter, Sasha, is here in spirit, but she's at driver's ed right now. You know, they cannot miss. But thank you so much. I am so thrilled to be part of this incredible community and to be part of this incredible district.
Amazing.
Okay.
All right.
You do it. Next motion, I bring forward motion 119 that the board award a contract to Curriculum Associates for the iReady assessment system and personalized instruction for the 25-26 school year in an amount not to exceed $214,000. Wait, $214,000, 819. I'm sorry. I'm just not, I'm not going to be able to get it now that I messed it up. Funded through the general fund. I'm guessing that's the general fund?
Yes.
Yeah. For the 104D, I can't say anything after that mess up. 104D assessment reimbursement grant as presented.
Support. Okay, we have a motion properly presented by Ms. Meyer, supported by Dr. Campbell-Voital. Turn it over to, I'm not sure.
Well, I know that that we do have some there are additional questions for us. We did spend approximately 2.5 hours at a cow discussing this. I know that we put in the full presentation, supplied that to the board, but looking at Dr. Brock and Ms. Hoppenstedt as well, additional information that you'd like to share or questions that we can answer for you, we'd be happy to.
I guess my first question is, can you remind us, just for the community, what were there are three tests, right? Or three assessment tools that are possible to use for these kinds of assessments, and just maybe just give us like a 1 minute with the microphone. Thank you, Dr. Brock.
Yes, so with 104D, there's 3 possible assessments that can be reimbursed. One is NWA, another is iReady, and the third is Renaissance, which is also known as STAR.
Okay, thank you. Does the board have any questions or any dialogue that we'd want to have in terms of, I feel like we have had a lot of conversation about it.
We've had dialogue, but just in terms of the transparency about the change, maybe sharing a little bit.
Yeah.
For those watching.
Yep, that's fair. Yeah, can you give us a little bit, just a kind of an overview of the pilot and some of that feedback and
Sure, absolutely. So it was piloted in all of our elementary schools as well as at Hillside, and then at Meads Mill, we had pilot groups. A biggest piece for the change would be that based on student feedback, iReady is a very engaging assessment for students. I would also say based on teacher feedback, it builds in things such as a brain break, where students are taking a math test and sometimes it can be a little cumbersome when you're on the computer. And so it builds in a brain break where kids are doing a math activity where maybe they're stacking cups and they're pulling out the evens and the odds. if they're in kindergarten or first grade. So that student interest and that teacher interest is really what's driving the decision. There are some other facets. NWA was recently purchased by Houghton Mifflin. We were told a couple months ago that MAP Accelerator was going away. So those of you who have had kids go through Northville Public Schools, grades 3 through 8, MAP Accelerator is widely used. It's something that our teachers use to supplement that really help our math scores on all of our assessments. And that is moving away from Houghton Mifflin. It is going back to Khan Academy, so we understand it will have a different interface. And so that kind of coincided with the pilot teachers using the personalized instruction platform from iReady, really liking it. And again, that high student engagement where it can be used supplementarily with our board adopted materials, which are Fontes and Pinnell and Bridges in Mathematics. So it's really that supplemental piece and really teacher and student voice as to why we're moving forward.
And I would add the reporting components for families and for teachers. So the ability to create instructional groupings really, really easily, and the resources that come along with those instructional groupings are so important in terms of just time in the classroom and how teachers really don't need to spend that extra time gathering the resources. They're there. That personalized instruction, K through 8 in math and reading, there was a little bit of a gap with MAP Accelerator in terms of what kids had access to, so that kind of brings that all together. And the ease of use and setup and in administering the diagnostics, so much easier. You heard Ms. Lindsay speak about using the Clever badges with iPads and how quickly students were able to take the assessment. So those are some of the big highlights that we went through. I know that we had like 78 slides for you, but we're happy to revisit any of those. They're linked in this presentation if you want to see any of the information again or have just additional questions. But overall, the feedback from the educators that use the system overwhelmingly said that iReady was the choice for them.
And we actually added a second pilot group. So there was a first pilot group, which enjoyed the program so much that words kind of spread from teacher to teacher, the teacher's lounge, and a second pilot group came forward and said, we're hearing great things. We would love to pilot. Is there any way you can add us? And we were able to.
One of the things that stood out to me too when we heard this presentation during the committee of the whole is that any of the accommodations that students on IEPs or 504 plans need, that's already built in and it transfers with the login, right? So it also saves some teacher time, which
So
seems
that's a logistical piece that's really helpful for our teachers. So our teachers actually set up, and our testing coordinators set up these testing sessions. And sometimes, a session has to move or a kid is out ill and they're not able to take the test. The accommodations follow the student, not the testing session. So that's very helpful to our teachers who don't have to recreate a testing session with the accommodations. It follows the student.
Okay, that's helpful.
I think it was also compelling that we felt that we were getting reliable, comparable results when we compared how students performed on this test compared to our NWEA scores. So that was comforting. And so we know that we're starting at the same start point and understanding what our kids need and what direction they need to go in. And then we're adding the personalized instruction opportunity, which is specifically designed to meet their individual needs. So I think that's, and I think there's also some resources available for parents at home also, right? So we always like to bring parents into the supportive circle and helping reinforce. And so that's also an advantage, I think, too, right?
Yes, so the parent reports are very useful, and students can also use this during the evenings, during the summer, and iReady does give guidance. So if they're using it too much, iReady has, a friendly little note that says, no, like you're beyond your screen time, let's find something else to do.
Right.
So it gives that guidance so that it's balanced between students, doing enrichment or possibly even just reviewing some facts without doing too much screen time.
And I would offer for the board to take a look, or if community members want to look at our process on slides 5, 6, and 7. We do have a number of our elementary administrators here tonight, and I want to look over there and say thank you as well. Not only were we having to give NWA as a benchmark, but piloting meant also, though, we're going to do something else and another one. And when you are an elementary principal in the building, yes, you have your team, but unlike a middle school and high school, there's not an assistant principal, so you're rolling. And so thank you to each of you for digging into that and being interested in it as well. But I really do think 5, 6, and 7 also should be very reassuring for the public and the community. The due diligence that was led by Ms. Hoppenstedt and Ms. Brock around this, and is also all the meetings all year around this as well to get to this decision point for the board. I want to thank the two of you.
Comparatively, test to test, iReady is significantly more expensive than NWA if you're just comparing test to test.
If we're just comparing diagnostic to the actual test, I'd have to actually
Yeah,
look
but
that up.
but what I hear you saying, I just wanted to reiterate, if someone were to look at it and see the test comparison pricing, I think the NWA is like 65 and iReady is like 180 something.
Megan, could you
Go to that
this
cost comparison.
But
Yeah.
I think that it doesn't include the
so we can
cost
all
of
see it.
MAP Accelerator, which we already currently pay for and also is going away. So
Right.
they
Now, they did give us an opportunity to purchase Khan Academy, so I can pull up that quote. But again, that would be new learning for staff, a new interface.
Yes,
because
and
it's-
this quote also includes the training for our K-8 teachers as well, correct?
The iReady one, yes.
Yeah,
correct.
and that is a one-time training.
It's actually ongoing. I don't know
Oh,
if you want to.
the iReady training. So there's 3 training sessions. They're half-day sessions. The first one is before teachers give the diagnostic to understand, how to give the assessment. And then the second one is after the first diagnostic. Teachers look at the data, as individual teachers, as a grade level, however they want to look at the student data. And then the third one is after the second diagnostic to look at growth and look at from fall to winter what that growth would look like.
So it
there's
really teaches
in-
them to utilize the tool. Does it carry over year to year though?
Typically, no,
Okay.
unless there's specific needs. That's really the foundational training, and then if there are needs, we may look at that. But really, the 3 PD sessions typically gives teachers enough time to really understand, and they sprinkle in throughout the trainings a bit about personalized instruction. So teachers are having conversations about how to best utilize that within the classroom, within their instruction.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to touch on before we voted was I see the NewsLA is on as part of this motion. I'm not sure what we're exactly, if that's just to tell us something about NewsLA, or if what we're voting on includes something with that.
One second.
Where are you saying that?
Right here.
Yeah, I see that too, as
Yeah.
a little bit further down in our packet. Well, I think that what we see is that the Newsella subscription is fully covered by Wayne Risa.
So the Newsella, so this was hot off the press as of 10:46 yesterday morning, I believe. Wayne Risa is going to come through and cover the ELA portion of Newsella. So that will be free to staff should they choose to use it.
So yeah, Khan Academy is not something we're going to.
Khan Academy we could purchase,
Right.
but it would be an additional cost on top of MAP Accelerator, and it will have a different interface than MAP Accelerator.
Okay.
Just for point of clarification, when you say the ELA portion of it, does that mean that the social studies is not covered?
That is my understanding. I believe it says it in the quote. Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're
That's
right.
my
Okay.
understanding from Risa.
Okay.
And then looking at the screen that we have on there right now, in the board asked questions of this and alluded to it, but perhaps Dr. Brock or Ms. Hoppenstedt, speaking to the learning path piece of it, what we've traditionally done in Northville with NWEA, how we've utilized different pieces. And I could just tee it up by saying that NWEA has made a significant shift in their approach to pricing and their approach to service delivery. What we had put together for years is no longer going to be able to be put together in that way, and their pricing turned quite aggressive on that whole package. One thing that we heard loud and clear from our building leaders is whatever way we go, a learning path needs to continue, that our teachers use it in their classrooms, use these learning paths in ways with NWA as well right now, but in a way that when they're working with small groups and doing small group instruction, other kids in the classroom can be engaging in these learning paths. Another aspect that was attractive, I believe, to the parents that you all met with were the fact that the path being open in the summertime on iReady, the path that is directly linked to that assessment is there. And finally, I'll say when I first started to learn about iReady, I'm like, well, it makes sense that they would want us to do a learning path because that will just benefit the actual performance on the assessment. And I think I was being, frankly, unproductively cynical, because what the assessment and the diagnostics do is to help provide a path for each student around what they could be better at, what they need improvement in, and helps with that. So from a parental standpoint, knowing that my son would have the opportunity to be getting things that I couldn't provide for him after a certain grade level, especially in mathematics, that he would be getting something that would challenge him appropriately and help him get better and fill some gaps in. So I don't know if I spoke to that as well as you guys want to. All right.
Back to the Newsella piece, we currently purchased the ELA and social studies portion of it?
So currently, it is all covered by RISA, the entire bill.
All covered by RISA. So RISA's saying, oh,
Through
now
this
you can
school
just
year.
have the ELA and they're getting rid of the social studies piece. Do you know how much our social studies teachers utilize the social studies piece of Newsella?
I can give you a qualitative answer as opposed to quantitative. Like I can't say X percent. What I
Sure.
will say is they use it supplementally. I think more so at the middle school than in the elementary. I think elementary you're going to see that they use primarily the English version interface.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So do you?
And I also want to note there's a free version of Newsella. The paid version, there's a lot more bells and whistles, but for many years, our teachers use the free version.
Okay. So you don't foresee us needing to or wanting us to approve that in the future, that we would pay for that portion of it?
If we go forward with the personalized instruction with iReady?
Yeah. No, I mean, just separately on its own.
I wouldn't anticipate that. I would also say that Jen Lawson and Aaron Boffman are doing a lot of pilot with the AI tools that have some of these pieces built into them. You're going to hear about that, I believe next week is when Aaron's going to be here. So with all of those things available coming to our staff, I can't imagine that we would come back and say, well, now we want the supplementary resource, because they have board adopted resources that they use at each level.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, that's helpful. Any other questions, comments? Okay, all right, ready to move ahead with the vote then? Okay, all right, all in favor then of adopting the iReady platform? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries 7-0. Thank you.
Thank you to the board, to again, our administrators, educators, teachers who pilot it, to Dr. Brock, Ms. Hoppenstedt. Another component of this is, and we talked about this at the COW meeting, our ability to attend to measuring student growth. We've talked about that. We'll probably talk about it a little bit next week in my evaluation checkup meeting or mid-mark, but just so the community knows, I asked the board to hold me accountable from growth of students, not simply performance metric of that. And the reason for that is in a district like ours, we're so incredibly fortunate, and we do have a tremendous amount of high achieving students. But if we look at measuring our quote unquote success through an aggregate number of that, our numbers pulled pretty high because we have pretty extraordinary families and kids. Are we making sure to see where the growth areas are happening or not? And wanted to do that in a way, again, with the theme of the night. The 8 of us at one point will be gone for a variety of reasons. How do we set our system and district up that who comes after you, who comes after all of us, is in a situation to really easily see how we're doing or not? So the building of data systems over the next couple of years, as well as strategic planning, is going to be very, very important. So I just wanted to make that comment and say thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I want to acknowledge all the hard work too, right? It's really hard to make a significant change like this. It seems like there were so many things kind of lining up that were going to push us to make that change. And I appreciate, Dr. Weber, your forward thinking in terms of how can we do that growth measurement, right? That we know that our kids are excelling. Many of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them are missing their growth targets. So having this more individualized, personalized opportunity seems like it's the right next step, particularly with the change of NWEA and being sold to or bought by Houghton Mifflin.
Yep.
So I think that, sometimes things happen that are out of our control, and, I'll be curious to see how the rest of the state kind of shifts too, that it seems like the cost is going to become a big factor, right? If you want to stay with what you've been using, that's going to become more and more challenging. Okay, all right, let's move on then to our treasurer here, Ms. Stewart.
I see that the room has cleared out for the really fun part here. I'm going to bring forth motion number 120, that the board authorize a change order to Nagel Paving for additional concrete replacement in an amount not to exceed $47,028, funded by Bond 2023.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion properly presented by Ms. Stewart and supported by Mr. Frazier, and here we go.
How much more fun could it be than,
Concrete paving.
concrete
At this point, I'm
replacement?
just glad I'm not the only one. So I'm also excited on this side of the table. I don't know. All right, I'll take that as yes.
Anything else?
I mean, do you have anything you want to?
This
It
was,
seems pretty self-explanatory.
yeah, it's
right?
paving work. The scope's included. This was part of the 2025 transportation paving project. We're trying to include the scope of additional work at the high school, Thornton Creek and Ridgewood. It's bond work, so just more needs.
Yep. Okay. All right. Any questions?
No, it looked like an efficient decision.
Yep.
We had them on site. We identified some areas that needed to be addressed. Why not take care of it all together?
Makes sense.
Thank you to Mr. Banchero for pointing that out.
I expect nothing less than efficiency from Mr. Banchero and his team. So thank you.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's also be efficient and let's take a vote. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion carries. Thank you. Do we have any added agenda items? Okay. Do we have any other public comments? This is the last opportunity for public comment tonight. Okay. I have to flip my page. All right. Do we have any questions, comments from board members for tonight?
I have a couple, but
okay.
Me too.
Another fun one. So I was your delegate for the Wayne Risa Board of Education election. There were 16 school districts represented, and there were 2 candidates for 2 open positions. So surprise, surprise, they both won their bid for re-election. So James Berry and Linda Jackson won their election for an additional 6-year term. So they are serving. They're already sitting board members on Wayne Risa board, and they are continuing on for another 6 years. So awesome. Congratulations to James Berry and Linda Jackson.
Super.
And then I attended Northville Parks and Rec, our committee meeting. They had a lot of updates. There were a lot of repairs that had to be done to the phase 1 of the trails in Legacy Park, but those have been done. And they're beginning phase 2 of the trails over at Legacy Park. They're also excited to be working on a reforestation plan in progress. So that, I think that's always exciting. And then for our community who uses Northville Parks and Rec for programs, and especially, youth sports and any summer programming, they're going to be moving to a new software platform to do those registration for any Parks and Rec activities. So be on the lookout for that, because the current program, the current platform is not especially user friendly, and so they're working through that, and it should be implemented soon. So I think that's a point of note for the community. And then my final thing is good luck to our Northville rowing. They sent three boats to Florida today. They flew out to go to Florida for youth nationals. So they will be competing. It's like Thursday, Friday, and then either Saturday or Sunday. So it's a busy time for those. It's 9 kids who are going to be rowing. So,
And I think in rowing, you would think, well, they don't have a season in the winter, but oh, yes, they do. And in tomorrow in Grand Ledge, our women's soccer team will be competing in the Final Four. If they're victorious tomorrow, they would proceed on Saturday to East Lansing and Michigan State University. Last Saturday, state tennis champions, the Northville Mustangs women. And then our softball and baseball both made it to the second game, so almost there, which is so incredibly difficult. And it's like a pinch yourself moment, and where we get to serve with the families and students we have, the opportunities that they take advantage of. So sending lots of good energy out to Florida, or down to Florida, and across to Grand Ledge tomorrow.
Thank you for all of the sinking fund print
I
work.
brought that
This
up.
is fantastic. It looks great. And yeah, did you want to highlight anything about it?
I had that on my list too, and then I got so excited.
I think, yeah, the colorways look great. Hats off to the communications team for the good work on this. And I was curious to know, do we have any of these flyers that are going around to the community? I know that it's gone through our email system, and I know families have gotten this. Will we be dropping it off at various places?
They got delivered to, was it all elementary schools
schools
on Friday?
went out digitally, and then they'll be at different events throughout the summer, like downtown events and things like that. They'll be dropped off in places like that. So, and then we're working on lawn signs, postcards that will be mailed. So we've been quite busy with planning those things.
Okay, great.
I'm grateful to board members' expertise. I won't say who, but a person who recently ran, because we're trying to figure out a number, like how many signs do we need for lawn signs and so on. And the people to my right know that game pretty well because they've all had to do it. The thing is picking them all up when you're finished. So thank you for the support on that. And I think Mr. Kling has something he'd like to add.
Well, there's also additional flyers in Megan's office for different events as needed. So we made extra just in case there was events that needed to pass those out.
Okay.
And I did want to highlight on the Northville Public Schools website, in the top right, if you click on that, there's a drop down specifically for the sinking fund. And I really appreciated the FAQ. It really answered a lot of potential questions. So I would recommend, if anyone in the community has questions, to send them there to that. It had a lot of really good graphics. So that was good.
Yep. Big shout out to Steve for helping with all that work, and Darby. I mean, it's like a collective effort. It's a lot. It's like planning a wedding, but it's worth it. So thank you.
Really is. Does anyone know the timing for absentee ballots, when they would come out for like the this election? Any thoughts on that?
Count the days.
Yeah, that one, but I don't know when it's
Oh, you
for
can
yet.
vote by absentee, but you know when the mailer?
It's 45 days ahead.
Yeah, okay.
It's just kind
I
of.
was turning the wrong direction when I asked that question. Does anyone know?
Well, yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So are we still entertaining comments from the board?
Yeah, is there anything else?
Yeah, so I think it's kind of a tag on to your comments on your liaison work with Parks and Rec. But last night at a community meeting, Mr. Mark Abbo was the guest speaker, and he has proffered an invitation to the board at an agreed upon time to have us take a tour of the Public Safety Center. And we're, ardent partners in the protection of the safety in our schools with the township and the city. But I think it would be a good thing to go take a look. Some of those really impressive spaces are anticipated to be open to public groups meeting there. So it's really quite impressive. I'm sure many of us have looked at the pictures, but anyway, it'd be nice to tour. So RJ, you can.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I was my first visit there, and I know a couple of our team had a couple visits there at our school safety meeting, and it's really quite amazing. So I think you guys will love it. So I can touch base with Mr. Abbo about that.
So I just wanted to say, tonight was a cool evening, and Karen, I think, said it really nicely when it really came full circle with our retirees and our newest ones. One of our new PE teachers looks like he's a very young man, which is great to see people entering the field of education. And as Dr. Weber said, and I can echo that myself, teaching will always be the professional love of my life as well. Even though I'm no longer in that space, it will always be kind of who I am at my core. And for any Hamilton fans out there, I think one of the big themes of the evening tonight was legacy. We got to talk about the legacy gift from the Mothers Group, and one of the lyrics in Hamilton is, "What is a legacy? It's planting seeds in a garden you never get to see." And we're doing that. We've talked tonight about the kindergartners who in 30 something years will be retiring, and years after we leave our positions on the board and you all leave your positions here on Colt, and the teachers and administrators who are here, there's a lot of that we won't get to see, but we're doing that work now, and we're doing it in good faith for the benefit of our kids and everybody in this district. So I'm just very honored to be part of that and to work with all of you and all of our new young people who are coming to join us, and all of those who have served so wonderfully and beautifully in such a difficult space. But we're so thankful for all of you. So thanks.
That's all. All right. Anything else?
Well, it's tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's the last day. So I just wanted to say thank you for a wonderful school year to all of our staff, our teachers, our students. It always goes by fast, right? At the beginning, it seems like, oh my gosh, it's only mid-September, and all of a sudden here we are in June. So thank you very much to all of them. I also am reflecting on how, as exciting as it is, and most people are very excited, including myself, it can also be a difficult time of transition for our students as they go from having daily interactions with different adults, be it for food or consistency or just these supports that they're given. So it could be a tricky time of transition too. So just being mindful of making sure that we send our students off with a smile and all the love that we can give them, and just knowing that might also be a little bit of a emotional adjustment as it happens, and looking forward to seeing them in the fall.
I appreciate you lifting that up. I was thinking that this is our first summer in a few summers of not offering summer school. So it really is such a shift for so many people. And I know it's a shift for the staff. Yes, yes. But for our elementary and our middle school kiddos, right, that's not something that we're able to offer this year. And so, thank you to the staff for the years that they provided that. And I'm sure it's a different experience for them too, who, You know, if teaching is your passion project and it's something you love to do, it's hard to take a break too from that. It's an important time of renewal and rest and downtime. But sometimes it's, that can be challenging too. So I appreciate you lifting that up about the difficulty with transition.
One thing I'm particularly excited about for next year is hearing about those students who did the pre-K, the early, and how they're transitioning on to kindergarten. So that'll be really interesting. I'm really excited about that. I loved whatever we saw. So looking forward to that impact in the future for many years. Speaking of legacy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anything else? All right, then I'll call the meeting adjourned at 8:33.
Thank you.
Okay, enjoy your
Thank you all.
evening, everybody. Well, I mean, there's kind of an evening, a bit of an evening.